Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is CSUN Performance Ensemble Presents a Conversation with. My name is Fernando Martinez, and I'm one of your hosts.
I'm Samantha Garcia. I'm your other host.
And today we have another current member of the ensemble guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Victor Hugo Polanco, and I am part now of the performance ensemble this semester.
Okay, cool. We've been doing this for, I think, 4 months now. And I feel like it's been a goal that we were supposed to have current members on this show, but we haven't been able to do that. We've been getting a lot of people from previous shows. We're finally getting to it, so we're really excited to have you.
Thank you.
Last week we had Mitchell, which was Mitch. I have a hard time pronouncing that name, which is a riot, who talked to us a little bit about how he joined PE and then what the experience was like as a collective, right? So starting off with that, I wanted to ask you, because this is your first semester in PE, how did you end up there?
I think it was an email that Professor Jade sent, like a mass email, and it just coincided with me looking for my communications electives, and I already had all my schedule, and then I saw this email and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And it said communications 406, this is a performance class. And as soon as I saw performance, I'm like, oh yes, let me find out. And I sent an email back to Professor Jade. She said like, yeah, we can give you credit for this one, come over. And I was like, do I need to submit an application? Is there an audition? And I think I sent her a spoken word poem that I did in YouTube. And she loved it. And she was like, oh yeah, please come over, So that's pretty much how I ended up signing up for it. I didn't really have any idea that it was really going to be just performance. Because I love theater and I love performance, I was all up for it, because I'm a communications major, but at the same time, I crave performances. Like I would be a theater major if I could have both ways, But communications is just perfect for me right now. Yeah, but that's how I ended up in the performance ensemble, and that's why I ended up just really just immersing myself into the group and trying to make this whole Zoom, what could be considered a limitation, not being with the other people, and trying to make it an experience in itself, something that I can remember years from now and be like, oh yeah, I remember 2020 being on Zoom and still putting out really badass performances,
Yeah. Okay, so you said a couple of things that make me want to ask questions to everybody
Yeah,
here.
go for it. I'm an open book, man.
Yeah, and I think that I'm going to start off by just like highlighting how you said that you, Jade's known for her mass emails that she sends out to recruit people. She's really good at that. But it's funny that you saw that and then it attracted you to it, right? And I think I was going to ask Sam, because we were in it, and like I find that we're all really creative people, right? And in whatever way, form or shape, right? Like we're just very creative people. But I don't know. I think it's pretty. I guess I'm just trying to say that I think it's awesome that a lot of people can just look at that and think, hey, like I want to do this. I want to join it and not be scared. Because I think that like moving into like my junior year when I started when I went into PE, I was so afraid of it. Like if I got that email, I would have just like deleted it. Like I would have blocked it. I didn't. I don't know how you feel about that. So I'm like I don't know. It's crazy how that happens for some people. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about was it's really funny that you thought that there was an audition for it, because there are a lot of ensembles out there where you have to audition.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you can just add it. And I don't know. Well, maybe Sam can answer this question and then you can answer it, Victor. Do you feel like maybe that would have deterred you from trying to add it if you had to do auditions? Do you think it would have like changed the way that PE works if we had to do auditions to get in?
for me at least, it would make me think twice for sure. I hate auditioning. I hate auditions of all kinds, but I think the fact that it is a performance class, I'm just like Victor in the sense that anything theater or related to performing and the stage and the arts and the theater arts, I'll do anything to be able to fit that in my school schedule, because it's kind of like a break, because it's something people like me and Victor love to do.
Yeah, yeah. I really think it's you know, I feel like when you do a performance, or when you're creating a performance, it's such an outlet for your expression, right? Sometimes we find ourselves on just the daily routine, the make money, the rat race, and I found out a long time ago that I wanted to enjoy each day, you know, and I just wanted to pause. And why am I going to be part of the machine type of mentality? I love to make money, don't get me wrong, you know, and I know how to make money, but the true essence of anybody's existence is the expression of self, the trying to connect with whatever is out there that is just taking that, you know, from you and putting it out there for the world. And I don't know exactly what it is. It might be the source, it might be the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. But I think every time you connect to that source of inspiration, you go ahead and you learn a little bit more about yourself, and you learn about what makes you scared and what you're passionate about. And if you don't take bold decisions that scare you, you're not living life, you know? That's why you know I can't sing for anything. I cannot do musicals, and I signed up for a music class, for a singing music class, in which they had an audition, and I was awful, and my leg was shaking, but I still did a whole semester, and by the end of it, I did a whole performance, a whole musical. I think it was Stars by the Les Miserables, you know. So it's those things that you challenge yourself in every single possible way, because you want to shed that, you know, that shyness that stops you from being who you are, you know. So by being part of a performance ensemble like this one, like Jade puts out there, is such a challenge, because it's not just you, you know. Even though Zoom kind of makes you be very individualistic, but as a theater person, you want to connect to the other people. You know, you want to have that, for that brief moment in which you're doing a performance, you're out of this world and you're somewhere else and you're somebody else, and you have to be that person and just embody that illusion, you know. And once you transition into the performance and you finish the transition, then you have grown more as a person and you have evolved. And I really think that we're in this world to evolve ourselves into something more pure, you know. And that's why I challenge myself. And yeah, I get shy. Believe it or not, I'm actually a very extremely shy person. But I'm a good actor, so I hide it well. And you know, since I was a kid, I was like, I just want to enjoy every single second, every hour of every day, and just do fun stuff, you know, without letting go of the responsibilities, of course, you know. So, and if anybody asks me, I always tell them that, like, if that decision makes you scared, and if you're fearful of what you're gonna do after your bachelor's, if you're pursuing a master's, or like myself, I'm gonna try to go to law school. Who would have thought that, you know, an immigrant from Guatemala that came here at 17 with no papers was going to be now going for law school, you know? So that's me in a nutshell, you know, challenging myself every day. And it is scary, but there's a lot of flavors to be tasted through fear and challenging yourself every day. So that's my short answer.
Sure. Yeah. So uh, earlier and then just right now, I mean, it seems pretty clear that you're somebody that likes to um, be challenged or face challenges, or you don't look at an obstacle as an obstacle, right? You look at it as a way to sort of grow and then transition out of and become something better, right?
Yeah.
And you said that when you were talking about essentially like leaving a legacy behind with your time here at CSUN, right? It's like you want to do something that's fun. You want to do something that you're going to remember after you're done with it. And I think that's something that's definitely said about when you finish PE. It's like you're happy that you left something behind. I know that I felt that way, and I'm sure, Sam, you feel the same way after we were done with it. But that being said, like you said all these things and you feel this way, and that's just how you tackle life, right? But then you end up adding the class, you get a description about what it's like. Did you have any expectations? Because I know you brought it up briefly, but were there any expectations going into the performance ensemble, given your past with your own type of art, right? Was there any expectations, and if there were, did the class meet your expectations, or was it something completely different? Like, how was that experience like for you?
I think the class itself has more than met my expectations for a performance class. If in the past, if I was able to just do one full performance, most of the time created by me, and I would be happy just with just one performance that I can do. It's like, let me be in front of people doing something strange, right? Saying something that is true, that is going to ring true to you, And if I can just do that, I call that a semester for me. But it exceeded, this performance ensemble exceeded everything, because not only I had to put a couple of performances myself, but I have been able to help a lot of people with their performances, and their art pieces. And I have inspired them in some ways. I have helped them technically in some other ways. And that's what I think it transcends Zoom, and that's the one thing that I was looking for. Just the connection between classmates, the connection between students, between actors, between producers, musicians. And this performance ensemble just has everything, from people that can sing, that can act, that can create, that can write, that can shoot videos. And it's just such a mix of very talented people that I just felt at home. And the more I feel at home, the more outwards I get, and the more I help. And then I have found that my pieces are even more inspired, because now I have certain standards that I have to meet, So if somebody like Tony that knows a lot of music, somebody like Hanan, who we did a music video with, I did my own spoken word. I helped Kyle with his presentation about the Filipino culture. So it's such a mix of very talented people. I love it, and I've been enjoying every single class with them, and just having Jade as a guide, and Sir and Diana as our TAs, and you, Fernando, of course. You guys are just like those. Don't fear anything. We got you. And once we have that backup, and I know I can like be against the fence, and I know like, okay, you guys have my back, so I can say anything. Are you sure? All right, let's do it. And then that's when my very more provocative and to a certain degree revolutionary performances have come out, and literally it has pushed me to do my best work as of date, So I can really see the changes from the beginning of the semester, in which I was kind of like shut down by COVID, by this whole situation, by the government, all this stuff, all this protest, and you get all this anxiety, and then you start the semester and it just challenges you in such a way that it makes you like be hyper aware of your surroundings, but you now have a way or a source to let it out. You're not frustrated in your own world. Now you have to push it out. And when I pushed it out, like the first couple of projects, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, I'm a performer. Let's do this. So I was extremely, extremely pleased with everything. Yeah.
That's great. I feel like there's a lot to unpack from your answers. And there's like two things, and I think again I'm gonna put you on the hot seat, Sam. I'm gonna ask you questions too, just because I feel like because you were bringing up, Victor, how like with this ensemble, it just feels like you guys are like there's like an overabundance of talent, right? Like there is just so much talent there, and it's like different kinds of talents that are there. And I guess so. Saying that, like I wanted to talk to Sam because it's like when we were the year that we were there after, right before we left, it's a lot of us did things that were very, I mean, they were different, but like they were still pretty similar. And because like Sam, I know that like you were one of the first few people in a long time that like started sort of doing different things. Like you were doing you were singing on stage, right? Like that's something that we don't typically see. And do you find that, and I'm going to ask her this question, then I'll go to you, Victor, but did you find that was difficult for you to sort of navigate doing something that was a little bit different from everybody else, Sam? Like you were singing, everybody else here sort of doing like a monologue or spoken word piece, and you're the only person singing there. What was that like for you?
It was kind of, it's funny that you asked that because I've never thought about it, because when I'm doing something like that, I'm just so at home in my element. I feel like everyone's just doing the same thing. I'm like kind of not aware of my surroundings sometimes, but it kind of just melts together because like Victor said, the fact that there are so many talented artistic people all together at once, like there's actors and there's musicians and like people that play instruments and videographers everywhere, that for some reason creates, just like for Victor, like a home like environment. Like it's very comfortable when everyone's just talented and doing their thing, and they kind of bring out the talent in you that you probably haven't nurtured in a while, and then they kind of bring it out of you because that's what happens in a group of people. But that's definitely how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because like I've always, because that's the thing. I think that when we talked last week, and then obviously right now, it just seems like that's not even something that you think about, right? Because like you do have all these people that have different backgrounds in terms of art, in terms of artistry. But with me, I don't know why I always thought about that. It's like, oh, it's like, not that it's like weird in a bad way, but like it's weird that there are some people that aren't doing what everybody else is doing. It's like, how do they feel? Like, how can I even help you write a song or sing a song? Like I have zero skills in that, right? Like in fact, I would make your performance a lot worse if I were to help you. Whereas like she would be able to help me, and she did. Like she helped me a lot with my pieces. So that's interesting how that, like, I can't even imagine what that's like. I feel like that's such an amazing experience to have, where you have people that are talented with absolutely everything, right? Like have backgrounds and everything. Which is sort of leading me to this next question, because you also brought this up in the beginning, that with Zoom, you have something that's very, what did you call it, individualistic? It feels like it's just about the individual, right? Like you're just in your little square, and that's it. And like you're doing your own thing, and because like I see the emails too, and it's like everybody like, for next week we're gonna do this, and it's like, how do you do that together? Was it hard for you guys to sort of get over that hump of having to do it on your own, right? Like taking it home with you, working on it, and not necessarily being able to have other people watch it as you're working something.
You want to go first, Sam?
Were you asking me as well?
I'll take what I can get.
I think that's more for Victor, right? Because he's in a class. He's in the class with the Zoom, and going through that experience. How about let's focus on you.
Right. So you got to remember, I'm shy, right? So I don't come out of my shell until the performance, you know. And when I'm put on the spot, then something in me just kind of just clicks and it changes. And then I'm able to do everything, you know. But believe it or not, I think this Zoom format worked out for me because I felt safer, you know. Like I wasn't put on the spot every class on a performance in front of people, but just kind of made me internalize a lot of what I wanted to put out there and how I wanted to tweak it. And the assignments just gave me enough time to put my own style on it. However, it is, I mean, I think that the faster you accept the reality you're living in, the quickly you adapt to it. Mm-hmm. You know, because if you're challenging your own reality, that is going to frustrate you. And this thing is not going away, not anytime soon. You know, so if you take a long time to say, oh yeah, COVID is here. Yeah, we have limitations. Yeah, our semester is going to be on Zoom. And the next one too. Then you're shooting yourself in the foot, you know, because you're only going to be in conflict inside. And when you're in conflict inside, you're not going to output the right amount of work and the right quality of work, you know. So working on Zoom, it almost feels like you're in a reality show, you know. That's really what it feels like, you know.
How does it feel like that?
Because like, you know, like right now I'm getting interviewed, you know, so it feels like I'm on TV.
There's another reality show right here.
Just another reality show. You know, and I mean, and that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like we all used to be on our phones now. If besides us being physically somewhere, we were in little boxes already. You know, we were on Instagram, we were on Facebook, we were already on all these TikToks. You know what I mean? So the portrayal of our embodied self is already being recorded. It's already formatted, you know, 9:16 or landscape 16:9. You know, we're already there. We're already 4:3 on Instagram. And we see ourselves and we acknowledge ourselves through social media. So now Zoom was just a matter of accepting this is my own reality now. And my little box is my environment, you know? So that makes it easier to not feel anxious about the very, very real threat that we have on this situation, you know? And I mean, who wants to be sad, right? So if we accept our reality, you'll find yourself smiling again, a little bit at a time, you know? And for a person like me who, you know, who I do my best work when I'm alone, but when I'm challenged by the crowd, you know what I mean? And just knowing that all these people were on Zoom and they were all putting out very good work, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be the first one putting out this assignment. I'm going to be the best one doing this. I'm going to, you know, and I challenged myself. And at the same time, that reminds other people in your class, in the ensemble, that they can allow themselves to put their best work out there as well. That this, even though it's Zoom, even though we're in a little box, that this work matters because this year alone is going to be remembered for generations. You know, like we remember the Black Plague, like we remember influenza, like we remember World War I and II, and Vietnam and all that stuff. This year alone is going to be remarkable. So wouldn't you want to have your best work out there in this year when it's going to be remembered forever? And that's one of my motivations. You know.
Of your work, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your piece that will be coming out in the upcoming show.
Ooh, It's a good one.
Yeah, don't spoil everything. Maybe
No, no,
just
no, no, no.
a little outline so we can still be surprised.
Yeah.
It's a spoken word piece, and it's a celebration of the Latinx identity, you know, and but again, the identity of any race, of anybody, of any group, comes in different shades of pain and pleasure, right? So there's good things that that have happened. There's bad things that have happened, and because of our own frail minds, we just tend to forget the good. We forget about the bad times, and we only want to remember the good times. So this piece that I created is a celebration of both the good, both the bad, and through that journey of those verses and words just linked with each other, um, create a they create an image of the true reality of the Latinx experience that we have right now. Not just right now, but from years ago. You know, so I am. It's literally just this one just. For lack of a better word, I vomited the verses one night was just writing, and then I wanted to record it, and then I created the own soundtrack too, and then I wanted to tweak it, and we filmed it, and then it was an amazing experience, and when I showed it to people, they were just so that was.
Can't
I'm
wait
not,
to
not,
see
not
it.
looking for recognition, but it feels good.
That's amazing. So, how's your experience been? I guess you've told us a lot already about how wonderful the experience has been in class. Um, Doing the online thing, it's opening up a world of possibilities and creativity and challenge, useful challenge, as I
Yeah.
see. But how, in your perspective, how is the show coming along, stringing together? When's the date? How much more time do we have?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to help everybody get their pieces out, man.
Yeah, so it's really a collective effort then.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I know I have a lot to deal with this semester. I still have a lot of assignments. I have as much work as the next guy. But I still find the time to put out a good show because I know that not only this piece is a reflection of me, but this class is a reflection of my passion for this kind of work and for self-expression. So I think it will be doing a disservice to a lot of other students that just need that push. Like Fernando said, like, I don't know if I could help you with this. I probably would do it worse than that, but we all have a little thing that we can help. If let's say, oh yeah, it's a music video. Oh yeah, I cannot sing, but you know what? Let me do one little verse here. Or I cannot sing or rap or perform. Then you know what? Maybe I can cut that video for you. Or you know what? Can I at least view it and give you some feedback? Just that alone just can create a whole masterful piece. And sometimes the people that think they have the like no talent whatsoever are the ones that really output the most passionate work because
I agree.
They look at life in a different way than let's say the quintessential performer. If you can remember yourself about being a witness of life, then you can translate that into something. Anything is art, whether it's your own work, your body, your lifestyle, the way you love people, the way you treat others, the way you can connect with others, your classwork, all that is art. Everything is art. So maybe your art is not performance, but you might be just the most artful and skilled son your father can ever have. You can be the best father for somebody else. And I think everything is related into love. You know, love is a form of art. So if you already love somebody, you're already an artist. It's just a different type of art. You know, it's more universal.
Yeah, I feel like this has become such a motivational conversation. But I do have another question because I'm really interested because, I mean, I think she's from like, obviously I mean, this is the first time you've met Victor, right, Sam? I have like spoken to you guys in class, but haven't really had the chance to have a full on conversation with anybody. Which is like, it just sounds like you're a very hands-on, like you just like go for it. You don't really hesitate. Like you do the things that you want to do and you want to succeed. It's very clear that you have goals in mind and that you want to reach them, right? And then you were talking about how this year is going to be remembered for ages to come. And I mean, it's true. Like it's like, in fact, it's so true. It's even become a meme. And it's funny how like now even like when something becomes a meme, you know that it's there, you know, like it's probably true. And yeah, it's a historical moment when it's become a meme. And like a lot of major jokes, it's like, yeah, like imagine in 2050 or 2030 when your children come home from school and ask you, hey mom, or hey dad, or hey parents, like what happened in 2020, you know, like it's a joke. But it's funny that you were saying that because it's like, yeah, it's a monumental year for a lot of reasons, for a lot of good reasons and for a lot of unfortunate reasons, right? Do you feel though that because that is because that's what PE does, right? Like it performs a lot of personal experiences, but oftentimes those personal experiences are contextualized with whatever is happening in the world, right? Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure for you to have to do that justice? Is there a lot of pressure for you to have to like perform something that truly depicts what's been happening in 2020 and how it has affected you, how it's affected others? Are there solutions? Is the problem going to continue? Is that pressure there for you?
Of course, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and the better you are, the more pressure you have. You know, at least the better you are in your head, the more pressure you're going to put into your own work. So, yeah, you have no idea about how much I struggle with the pressure that I put on myself every day, thinking about that one line of that verse that is just not quite, but I can't find a freaking word for it, you know? So, or that video is not quite just what I, you know, and you look for that specific image. So now, not only you have the pressure of this whole situation, from politics to the virus to people being frustrated and in anger, and that becomes your responsibility because you're like, because of my work, the way I see it, I'm going to be immortal through this year. You know, it better be up to par with everybody else. It better be so good. That is not just going to speak true to you and help you grow, but it's going to help the person that witnessed your work. And I think that comes with a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility, because I'm not looking to change millions of people. Of course, you know, I'm looking to change one. If I can change one person from feeling sad and anxious to being happy and being calm, then I'm gonna be immortal in her eyes or in his eyes. And that's reward enough for me. You know, if I can achieve that through my work, that's all I need. And that kind of takes the pressure away. But until that point, until the product is finished, then yeah, it's all kinds of, you know, like I'm even having dreams about the pieces that I'm working. And then I think when I was cutting the final product for the show, I literally went from like 8 p.m. all the way to like 7 a.m. the next morning, just working on the video.
Wow.
You know? So that's the kind of pressure you put yourself into. But the reward is when they see your stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the way I think about it.
Yeah, I think that with that little mini spoiler that you gave us, and just talking about the pressure of having to live up to this year and putting it on display for everybody, I think is a perfect time to sort of wind down on this conversation a little bit. And again, just I don't know, be excited about what we're gonna see. I feel like today and like last week, it's like really hyping it up. And I'm super excited to see what the show's gonna look like. I have no idea what, like I don't know anything. And for everybody that's watching, the show is coming on, I believe, December 4th and 5th.
Okay.
It's premiering on this channel at 7 p.m. December 4th and 5th. Rites of Passage, really excited. We're going to see if Victor really lived up to the pressure and the expectation. We're going to judge you hard if you didn't.
We're gonna come out.
Yeah. And again, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And just for everybody, once again, this was the CSUN Performance Ensemble presents A Conversation With. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Fernando Martinez.
I'm Samantha Garcia.
And I was Victor Polanco.
All right. So now we're gonna wave bye to the camera. All right. Thank you guys.